Very good morning to all our viewers. Today we have a very special guest with us. She has been a consultant for startups and developed several impact entrepreneurs for 30 plus years. She worked with IBM to spearhead set of failed startup of 1,000 plus, and she turned around about within the 2 years span of time to $14 million, and presently she has forayed her journey towards Planet Sense, which is a startup and marketplace for all the sustainable products and services. Let us all welcome Leslie with us. A very a warm welcome, Leslie, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me and the opportunity to tell about Planet Sense.
Indeed, it's a very interesting concept. So, what inspired you to start Planet Sense, and what has been your journey of life?
So, what inspired me to start Planet Sense was not a marketplace. I'm about the least shopping person you could possibly imagine. What The marketplace is simply a tool, and so what inspired me to start Planet Sense is that I was really tired of hearing people talk about climate change being the biggest threat to humanity, and watching people do absolutely nothing. And it's like, if this is the biggest threat to humanity, why don't we have a big solution that brings everybody in the world together, individuals, companies, sellers, etc., and just bring them all into one space? And so um, I I just said to myself, I've got to do something. I'm tired of watching disaster after disaster that kills people, ruins people's lives, and that is what brought me to start Planet Sense. For me, I love the environment, but for me, it's about the people. And it breaks my heart and it makes me very angry to see this continuance of something that we can solve. We have it within our power to solve it. We just need to get serious and say, we're not going to be a bunch of hypocrites. We're actually going to band together and do something about this. So the marketplace idea came going, okay, that's the idea that I want to do. How do we get people, nudging them in the right direction? And it drove me crazy thinking, okay, what's it going to be? You can't have something that pushes too many people and they feel strong armed. And one day I woke up and I said, everybody shops. It's a marketplace specifically with the purpose of getting more people and organizations to purchase sustainable goods. And then doing that, that will reverse climate change once people start buying all sustainable products and services. So that's the origin of Planet Sense.
That's great. So, what is the mission of it? How are you addressing it? What is the mission? How do you see it growing within like 2 3 years time?
Yeah. So the mission of it is to reverse climate change using sustainable purchasing. And so basically, that is what our mission is. And we want to get as many organizations and individuals shopping. And the sellers right now who are selling sustainable goods and services, they are all over the internet and they can't be found. So you have businesses and organizations going around the internet trying to find sustainable services and products. And shockingly, in 2024, they're not all in one place, amazingly. And so, if we get a place where it's one place where organizations and individuals can go, that will help everybody. It saves everybody time, saves them a headache running around looking for things, and it makes our world a better place. So, Planet Sense, I can tell you more about what we do if you like. Tell you a little bit about how it works and all of that.
So, according to you, how can one engage with Planet Sense, and who can engage on this?
Well, people can engage by going to our platform, and they basically can sign up as a seller, consumer, or organization. The more signups we get, that attracts investors. So we are looking for investors. We're looking for investors. We are a seed stage investment for them. And it's a big market. It's a big market and it's a hot market. ESG investing is the hottest area of investing, and it's producing almost 1.5 times the regular stock market. So people can engage with us in terms of being an advisor. People who are wanting to be interns at an organization that is doing something like what we're doing, they can outreach to us, and we'd be happy to talk with them as well. So, and if you'd like me to do like a broader description of Planet Sense and why it's different, I can do that for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me also ask you one more question. How many companies have registered till now?
We don't disclose that. So that's something that obviously some of our competitors would love to know. We don't disclose that, but we are asking that if people are selling sustainable goods and services, they can go to our website, they can sign up. People that are signing up now will get a free 1 year subscription once our site launches. So we need to get investor attention. The way to do that is to get people to sign up on our website. The more signups we get, the better. It gets investors' attention, and then we can get funded, and then we can build our platform. So we basically need the majority of money initially to get our platform started.
I see. Yeah, sorry, you were mentioning about what is a larger picture.
Yeah, the larger picture. So as you know, like I said before, there's no one place for sustainable goods and services in the world. So that's one piece. But our marketplace will be very different. Heavy, heavy vetting. There's a very strong vetting element to this, so that when people know that they come to our site, they know it's truly sustainable. They know it's not BS, which of course, as we know, there are a lot of companies saying, oh, we're sustainable or we're eco-friendly, and they don't really have a way to prove that. And our vetting process will actually prove that, so that when people come to our site, they feel really comfortable about purchasing things that are truly sustainable. So you've got that aspect of people being able to purchase. The bigger aspect, which is where we really get the scale of this, is we have a B2B2C model that's built in. So one of the things that you and I know is that corporations have been getting away with greenwashing forever, and they've been very successful with my generation accepting that. But your generations, millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Xers, they're saying no. We're not having any of that. And I'm loving I love these generations. And so, these companies are getting more and more pressure to do something. There are solid statistics that are showing that millennials, Gen Zs, those two populations, 87 and 94% respectively, are demanding consumer products that are sustainable. So, and just in the general US market, 66% of them are. So you got the consumer side, then you have the employment side. And the employment side is 36% of those two generations will not take a job or stay at a company the minute they find out that it's doing something bad for the planet. So now you've got a consumer attraction and retention problem. Next thing you know, you have an investor or an employee attraction and retention problem. Then you have an investor attraction and retention problem. Investors just in 2019 alone went from 48 to 75% of them asking for an environmental impact statement from companies. Never before has it seen that kind of jump. And then you have shareholder rebellions, and shareholders are saying, no, we don't want to work for you. We don't want to be on your shareholder list unless you do something about this. Then you have partners and suppliers who are saying, hey, guess what? We don't want to partner with you if you aren't either. We're being pressed to green up our supply chain. So what you have here, if you're a company, is you have a major attraction and retention problem. They're already seeing themselves lose customers, partners, investors, suppliers, and it's shocking for them. And so, like I said before, they've been used to greenwashing. So they're going, oh, what are we going to do? And some of the ones that are doing something, they're pointing to carbon offsets and saying, oh, we're doing carbon offsets. But you and I both know, unless that's independent third party verified, that's called BS. so So what we offer them is we offer them the ability to utilize our marketplace as a benefit, incentive, recognition, reward, engagement tool for all those people, the consumers, the employees, the partners, suppliers, investors, etc. And so how that works is, let's say I go in, a company says, wow, this is great. I can attract and retain all of these groups. I want to go in. How does this work? And we say, hey, you want to use it as an employee benefit? Say our marketplace is one of your employee benefits that you offer to employees. And let's say that employee gets it as a benefit, and that employee says, wow, I like this. And that employee is starting their own company, a startup, and they go, I could use this as a customer loyalty tool. You buy 10 of these, you get X Planet Cents to go in the marketplace. And one of their customers, wow, that's a great thing. I actually am looking for an incentive tool that I can use in the employee space, where I can say, this is your key performance indicator, your KPI. If you achieve this goal, we're going to give you X number of Planet Cents to go and spend in the marketplace. And they go, wow, that's great. My husband and I have always wanted to go on a sustainable travel trip to Italy, and we found a sustainable travel agent on your site, and they're putting that together. They get back from the great trip. They're like, wow, this is just awesome. They tell all their friends. Their friends are like, wow, I have a party that's coming up, and I don't want to buy stuff that's made of plastic or whatever. I'm going to go into Planet Sense. You have a partner anniversary coming up that you say, hey, we've been in business for 10 years. Let's celebrate. Instead of giving them something that they don't want, give them Planet Sense to go and spend in the marketplace. So what's cool is that is how organizations can use it. And what this does for companies is it shows climate action, which is what all of these millennials, Gen Z, Gen Ys are pushing them on. And so they can say, and it also gives them a competitive advantage, because they can say, hey, we're not only increasing our purchasing by buying more sustainable goods at Planet Sense, but what we are doing is we are taking it a step further by sharing with all these people. And then all of those, they can keep sharing it. So that company that got it as a gift, they can share it with their employee as a benefit. And that one can share it here and there. So it just becomes this huge world scale back on climate change. And that's basically how the model works. And nobody else has anything like this.
That's a very inspiring way forward. So, what form of support system are you looking for?
Yeah, support right now investors. So, seed stage investors who really want to make a difference for the planet. It's a really, really hot market. You might be interested in knowing that just in the years of 2013 to 2020, 50.1% growth of the whole consumer packaged goods market came from sustainable products. Think about that. And sustainable products only make up 16% of that market. So over those years, I mean, if you're a company and you see that, you better be going, oh man, I think I need to do something here. And
Yes.
so the market is growing really, really fast. And so it's a great bet for investors. Also looking for advisors of all kinds, particularly in the e-commerce space, looking for advisors like attorneys that can help us with what we're doing. We're obviously looking for investors. So right now we're looking for pro bono help from advisors, from services providers, product providers, etc. We're also engaging, we're asking sellers who sell sustainable products and services to sign up, organizations to sign up, consumers to sign up on our marketplace at www.planetsense, like the coins, CENTS.us, and they can sign up there. We also have intern opportunities. And so interns, they come worldwide. We take them within 9 hours going east from California. Not beyond 9 hours. There's one country where we do make an exception, and that is India. And it's because we find that they will work, they want experience, and so working at 13 hours, they don't care. so
Yeah.
so that's a country that we really appreciate, and we've had a lot of interns from India. So Those are the categories of help and support that we're looking for.
Okay. And how can volunteers apply? How
They
do
they can go to our website. So if they go to www.planetsense.us, they can go to our careers page. And the other way they can apply is by contacting me on LinkedIn. All they need to do is contact me. If we're not connected, they can just request by invite and then get me their resume at that point. Or they can just send it to me if we are connected already.
Yeah, yeah. So, how do you see it? What is your vision for the coming 5 years of Planet Sense?
Yeah, the vision is to have already Planet Sense is up and running and really humming along in the U.S. We've started moving into other markets outside of the U.S., but initially it will be U.S. and also just taking a big, huge bite out of Amazon. Being known as the anti-Amazon, we are the one that has good treatment of their employees and good treatment of their suppliers, and really just to become a haven for companies that do sell services that are and products that are sustainable, to be able to say, I want to sell there. I don't want to sell my soul to a company whose values don't agree with mine. So those would be some of the things, and then of course to really already see a serious scale back of climate change, really making a dent by watching millions of people, get into action about this. And there are just the thing that breaks my heart, Harsha, is in 2017 alone there were 68.5 million climate refugees in the world. 68.5 million. And that number has grown and grown and grown. And as we see, it doesn't even matter where you put your finger on the planet. Climate change is going on everywhere. It's like floods in Sudan and fires in Canada and Pakistan with the cyclone, and I mean it's just on and on, and people don't realize this is about people's lives, and I think somehow people have become desensitized to this. I like to kind of call it the swipe generation. It says, oh, there's the newest disaster, swipe, swipe, swipe. And it's like, no, we have to stop the swipe and go, no, these are real people. And what can we actually do to make this happen? And so that's what really needs to happen. We need people to realize this and realize that they can use their voice and they can use their action to make a difference.
That's very inspiring. Now, ICSR is our education and advisory institute. What are the knowledge gaps you think that we could bridge in, and or activities that we could do?
Yeah, I was looking at your website and the different courses that you offer, and it's great. It's a great place for people to get courses and to get knowledge that they might not have, and it's quite a wide array.
Yeah.
Two of the areas where I saw missing that I think would be really good to add are advocacy and selling sustainability, because really it undergirds everything. So you could be the best sustainability ESG consultant, you could be the best carbon consultant or whatever. All of these things depend on the ability to sell, to advocate, because people won't take action in or out of business unless you know how to advocate, especially with people who don't believe in climate change, or they think it's, yeah, I've heard of it and it's not really that much of a problem. And how do you navigate those waters of, I need to meet people where they are. I don't need to bombard them with fear. Yes, we need to tell the reality. I don't need to throw data down their mouth like they're they're blown over by data, because that doesn't push people. But really saying, where can we meet people, and then talk about it and say, okay, where do we go from here? But knowing how to sell, and my background is 37 years in sales and marketing, and so that really stuck out at me in terms of finding teaching people, how do you sell this, how do you sell it, because you could have a company and they're hiring ESG people, but the ESG people, they don't know how to sell it, and especially in organizations when you're selling to multi-stakeholders. And that's my background, selling to multi-stakeholder in big, huge companies. That's been my specialty. And so it's like you can get into a company and a finance CEO or a CFO thinks differently than a CTO, then thinks differently than a procurement person. And so every person is going to need to be sold in the language that they speak in. Otherwise, if all of them are involved in the decision, you're going to have a problem. The other thing that I saw that, and startup founders know this, and there's more and more that's going on around this online, but I would say managing startup founder mental acrobatics. And startup founders who are probably watching this, they will know exactly what I mean. It's an up or down roller coaster. It is a roller coaster ride, and you may be having a great day and go, "Oh, I landed an investor," or I landed, and the next thing, or maybe even the next day or in the next afternoon, you're like taken down by this thing, and I don't have this or I don't have that, and it is just a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster, and so groups that are outside that startup founders are finding, and web podcasts around, what some of them have called founder loneliness, because a lot of founders, myself included, a lot of what you do is alone. Even though I have lots of interns and this kind of thing, a lot of what I do is alone. I office out of my home. This isn't my home, by the way. It's a neat home. It's not my home. But it's about how do you manage your mental health when you know it's going to go up and down, and finding the practices that will help you navigate that. But there are even founders groups called like founder loneliness groups, and it's really interesting. It's popping up, and I think it's a real knowledge gap, is finding something that meets that need, because the more founders you talk to, it's an issue.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Thank you so much, Leslie, for the informative session and the courage and the inspiration that you've given to all the viewers today. Any final message from your side?
I would just remember that we are all power makers. We all have our own power. And this is a very good fitting day, Martin Luther King holiday in the US. And he stood as an example of one person who said, I don't like this. I'm going to make a difference. And people forget that every major change in history, every single major change, whether it's Mandela or Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Dolores Huerta, every single thing, a woman's right to vote, an airplane, oh no, there's no airplanes, that won't work, and a light bulb, every single major change in history, one person started it. So I would say if you're one person, you're pissed off, you're sad about something, take it in your hands and know that you have the power within you, because people will come in if they gravitate toward what you're looking to cause.
That's very inspiring. Thank you so very much, Leslie, for these wonderful words to start the day. Also, for all of us, we wish you all the best in your endeavors, and let us know if you could collaborate on anything. Happy to do so.
That sounds great, and I thank you, Harsha, for this wonderful opportunity with your beautiful organization, who is bringing people together to make the change that we want to see.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Leslie. Take good care and all the best.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Take care.